Welcome back to some new r/malicious compliance stories, where people comply to the letter, but not the spirit of a request. I hope you had a great day. Thanks for all the likes and comments on the last video. And now let's start with the first story. It's called Free Stuff. This happened recently. I was installing a store-bought burglar alarm system for a friend of a friend. While I was there, they received a package from a Chinese-owned warehouse store. It was a HEPA iron breeze air purifier that releases ozone into the room. They unpacked it, plugged it in, turned it on, threw away all the packaging and started to walk off. I asked, "You're not gonna check the instructions?" They responded, "I know what to do and I ain't stupid, so shut up." I didn't say anything else. I finished installing the alarm and left, figuring they'd deal with the consequences of not reading the instructions. A few days later, my friend showed up with the air purifier and handed it to me. He said his friend wanted to get rid of it because it was broken. I found the manual online. One important detail stood out. Please be sure to remove all packaging materials from the filter. The removable filter was still sealed inside its plastic shipping bag. I removed the plastic, reinstalled the filter properly, and the purifier worked. Now I have a working air purifier, and I'm not telling the original owner. The next story is called Programmable Calculator. Back in college, I was taking a science class. I had a TI-89 style calculator that I use for all my courses. On test day, I brought it with me as usual. The professor walked over and told me I couldn't use it because it was a programmable calculator. Instead, he said I should use my phone. I was studying computer science at the time and already working as a software engineer. If I really wanted to cheat, I could have easily written a basic calculator app or something more advanced on just about any device. So from that point on, I used my phone for tests, knowing full well that it would have been easier to cheat on it than with my TI calculator. The third story is called A Walk. It had been a hot summer day, but by early evening the temperature had dropped and there was a nice breeze. When my boyfriend asked what we should do that evening, I suggested going for a walk. He hesitated at first, but after a little encouragement he agreed. We went to a large city park. I'll call it Island Park. It's a wildlife sanctuary covering about 1200 acres, with 30 miles of walking paths spread over 9 different loops. It's a popular place in our town, but spacious enough that it still feels quiet and secluded. As we parked the car, he started grumbling about how we always go there, how far we were going to walk, and how it was probably still hot out. About half a mile in, he asked how far I planned to go. I said I wasn't sure and asked if he wanted to turn back. He said no, so we kept going. I decided to follow his lead, since it sounded like he might want to finish the walk earlier than I did, which was fine. We continued, and soon we reached parts of the park I wasn't familiar with. My boyfriend used to jog there regularly, so I asked if the path looped around. He said it did. We kept going for another mile into an area I didn't even know existed. Then he admitted, "I took you the long way, so you'd regret making me go on this walk." He had decided that if I wanted to go on a walk, he was going to make sure it was a long one. Long enough that I might not want to ask again. The path turned out to be scenic. The trees were tall, the views were wide open, and birds were everywhere. It was quiet, peaceful, and beautiful. Then he got lost, and we ended up walking 4 miles to get back to the car. But it was still a good walk, and an unexpected adventure. The last story is called No Nicknames. Midway through the school year, when I was in 2nd grade, we got a new teacher. On her first day, she went around the classroom and asked each student to stand up and say their name. My given name is Frederick, named after my maternal grandmother Frida. However, my parents didn't want to call me Fred, so I had always gone by the nickname Rick. When it was my turn, I stood up and said, "My name is Rick." The teacher responded, "We do not use nicknames in my class. Your name is Richard." I tried to explain, but she cut me off and said there were no exceptions. From that point on, she insisted I'd be called Richard. I didn't understand why she didn't check any official records to verify my name, but I followed her instructions and answered to Richard in class. A couple of weeks later we had a PTA night. My parents went to meet with her, and I was told afterward that things went sideways. As soon as she greeted them by saying she was happy to meet Richard's parents. My mother was not someone who tolerated nonsense, and my father, who was a delegate in the teachers' union, had some influence of his own. After that meeting there were no more issues. From then on, Rick was perfectly acceptable. Thanks for watching the video to the end. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please don't forget to leave a like, comment and subscribe. And if you have time, watch another one of my videos. Also, if you want to support me further, check out the channel membership or Patreon. And now, I hope you have a great day. See you soon. Bye bye.